All right. Yeah. So, you know what? Let's just fucking jump into
It
it.
came out already. It finally came out.
And it makes you just want to. Oh God.
Laugh, cry, scratch my head. You know, a little bit of everything.
Roger Goodell, you no dick, ballless wonder, piece of blonde-headed shit.
Man.
Let's just go down the timeline of COVID punishments.
Okay,
Right?
let's do it.
So we got the Titans, 300,000.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Then you have the Raiders, 500,000 plus loss of a 6th-round draft pick.
Mm-hmm.
Saints, 500,000 loss of a 7th-round draft pick. Here comes the Ravens.
$250,000.
20 people on the COVID list plus.
I think, yeah.
Okay. And what does the punishment come out to be? $250,000. That's it. Are you fucking serious?
That's pocket shit. Oh my God.
So the fact that almost ruined the whole season, and not only that, this is another reward. If you think about it, even though they got to pay a punishment, they got to pay a fine for the punishment, which does not justify anything at all.
Yeah.
But
there's no loss of draft.
It's comical. You don't lose a draft pick. Nobody's being held accountable. Harbaugh's not being held accountable. Ownership's not being held accountable. The players aren't being held accountable. The GM's not being held accountable. Goodell's not being held accountable. Again, like I said in previous podcasts and videos, this protocol is an utter joke. It's an utter joke.
It really is.
So the Titans cost the Steelers a later week of a bye week, right?
Well, yeah, you guys are your bye really early, yeah.
So, and that punishment was $300,000, which again, slap on the wrist.
Okay.
Then the Raiders,
that was the first one.
the Raiders charity event, which was $500,000, and then Gruden got fined in that again because he was a multiple offender of the no mask rule.
Yep.
And they lose a 6th-round draft pick. Then you have the Saints off the field bullshit, or off the field celebration nonsense, and they lose a 7th-round draft pick and get fined $500,000.
Yep.
But now here comes Baltimore. They come trotting in, and this guy gets COVID, and this guy gets COVID. You find out that the strength and conditioning coach isn't wearing a mask and not adhering to it. They're hiding all these test results.
Yep.
Guys are going out there playing with it, from Marlon Humphrey down the line. So then you got Lamar Jackson gets it, and Calais Campbell got it, and Mark Andrews, and Dobbins, and all these guys.
Everybody,
right?
basically everybody.
So now here comes Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
Nope. We're going to take the primetime game that every Steeler fan and every Raven fan or every football fan from out on Thanksgiving is clamoring for all day, right? Nope, we're going to take it from here and we're going to put it to Sunday, right? Well, now here comes Sunday, and our little Lamar tests positive, okay? So now, because Lamar's got it, now we're going to take it from here and we're going to put it to Monday, okay? Oh, no.
No,
we can't do that.
Tuesday.
No, they were originally going to have it Monday. It was going to be 5 o'clock. So then it was going to get moved to Tuesday. But then here comes this. But we don't feel safe playing. We don't feel safe playing, and we need an extra day practice because, we couldn't travel to Pittsburgh. So every accommodation from the first person who tested positive on the Ravens down the line, Roger Goodell has accommodated them in every which way, shape, or form. And this punishment says it as well. Even though, they got to pay a fine, but it's $250,000. And to the owner of the Ravens, it's nothing. So what was the point of this protocol? What was the point of it? I think they just make up the punishments as they go along because the Saints one, it was in the locker room.
Mm-hmm.
To me, that should have been the Titan punishment, $300,000.
Okay.
The Titan punishment should have been the Raiders punishment.
Yeah.
And the Raiders, Saints, Titans punishment combined plus some should be the Ravens.
Exactly.
I'm sorry, the Ravens should have been fined, and you could call me crazy. Should have been a $10 million fine because it should have been. Actually, it should be more than that because I honestly think you should fine them $1 million for each player who contracted it because of the strength and conditioning coach. And even to the fact that, think about this, even the Cowboy-Raven game that got moved from Monday to Tuesday, remember that?
Yeah, that's right.
Remember how that game almost became in jeopardy because Des Bryant, they do his test early in the morning, inconclusive. Okay, you can go and warm up on the field. Then they pull him back in, and he tests positive. And if you remember during the pregame show when they were talking about, because that was the same day that John Lennon got shot and all that, so they were talking about how Cosell broke that on national TV, because they didn't have social media back then. So Jay Glazer goes, I'm confused here because we're going to play this game, but they just had a game moved like 955 times.
Not to mention,
throw spaghetti at the wall and see if it's fully cooked.
Forces you guys to play 3 games in 12 games, 12 days.
Listen, and listen, I'm not really mad about that. Okay, but the bottom line is this: is Goodell, and I already tweeted him on Twitter, by the way.
Okay, I was gonna ask about that too.
I'm sure I'm gonna hear something from the fucking professionals over there, Twitter, how I called him a jag-off, and you can't speak like that on social media. But you know what? Yeah. I don't give a shit because fuck you, Roger Goodell. Okay. He's a joke of a commissioner, and he's always been. And he wonders why he gets booed at the draft.
Exactly.
If they did an in-person draft this year, people would be throwing kitchen sinks. Their freaking wives' period blood panties. I would literally buy a case of the world's shittiest beer just to throw full cans at them. That's what I would do. But it's just comical because, and you think about all these other teams who you've never had a COVID case at all. Case in point, I think Seattle's like one of the few who hasn't had a COVID case. So it goes to show you what teams are really adhering to the protocol now. Because obviously Baltimore didn't. You see with the Cleveland situation, even though they're not going to go into depth of how Jarvis Landry contracted it, and Higgins and all these other guys are now on the list.
Okay, that'll come out eventually, but
but now what's that punishment going to be? There's got to be a punishment there too.
Yeah, but it's probably
because I'm sure one of them had to violate the protocol in some way, shape, or form. I mean, Baltimore did. Hey, pretty much now you could violate the protocol all you want, and it's $250,000 now. Because he set the tone.
Exactly my point. Dwayne Haskins, him himself got fined $50,000.
That's a team punishment. Goodell probably would have fined
$50,000 for what I'm saying. That's what he makes.
They were going to fine him a game check, but
that's what I understand.
It's utterly amazing how they draw up this protocol, right? Well, if you violate this is the punishment. You violate this part of it, it's going to be this punishment. Well, the Ravens violated all of it. And then they get punishment number 1, which is a slap on the wrist bullshit fine. Let's just call it what it is. And if you're a Ravens fan who doesn't agree with it, well, like they say in Pittsburgh, you're a jag-off. Because the bottom line is this. It should have been $1 million fine for every play. So that's $20 million plus. Okay? You should have lost a 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th round draft pick. I'm sorry. You can call that astronomical, but if Goodell really wanted to set the tone that he's going to take it seriously and run this league the way it should be ran, listen, I'm not saying run it like Fidel Castro. This is a dictatorship and it's your way or the highway. But this whole pandemic thing is a serious matter, whether it's in sports or outside of the sports world. And if the NFL's taking it as a joke now at this point, because that's what Goodell's pretty much telling you. As a fan of this game, he's telling you that their protocol is bullshit. Yeah, because now, okay, you're the Titans. How did the Titans turn around and say, how did they get this? And we got this. And then you're the Raiders, and you're thinking the same thing.
The way I see it, like,
and there's going to be a lot of anarchy.
As time goes on, all right, Titans got fined. What was it? 300,000. You said it was.
Yeah, that's all.
300,000. All right. The next team who violates protocol, all right, more and more keeps it going up. Why does the Ravens get the least punishment?
Because the Ravens are going to become the new New England Patriots, where they get protected for the next 20 years. Is what's going to happen. And if you don't think that that's what it is, it is what it is.
This is utterly insane.
But Goodell, again, as usual. He dropped the ball. He really dropped the ball in this one.
Because right now, if you think about anybody can do it, let's break protocol. We're going to break $20,000.
But you also got to think about it. Them contracting it impacted the schedule, and the fine should have been stronger because of that. Because you had to move. Not only did the Steelers have to move a game already because of the Titans, the Steelers then, and you can say, oh well, but of course you're saying because it's the Steelers. Well, because it's a fact here.
It is. I'm not really a Steelers fan. I'm green.
So that game got moved. The Steeler game from week 3 gets moved to week 8. So our bye week's week 3, right?
Yeah,
now we play that game, and the inevitable happened. That's the game where Derrick Henry's going to run over for 300. Yeah, okay, Derrick Henry didn't do shit. Right? Now you got the Ravens Thanksgiving Day. You got the Ravens, right?
Everybody's waiting for that game.
Everybody's waiting. Freaking literally, I couldn't sleep for a week. I was so excited for that game. And bang. Now we got to move this game to Sunday. Saturday night. You know, friggin' little Samuel L. Jackson, Lamar Jackson over there. He gets COVID. Now we're moving the game to Monday. Now we're moving the games. And the funniest thing is that Goodell caved when the player said that they were going to strike on the Ravens and not play the game if it didn't get moved. So who's running the league? Who's running the league? Goodell?
It's clearly the Ravens are.
Goodell or the players? Because it's just an utter freaking joke of what
I cannot believe when I heard about that fine.
To what's really going on.
I cannot believe it.
It's just an utter joke. I do just like this from it, but it's just not a joke. It's the inmates running the asylum in the NFL. It's just really what it comes down to. And if you don't agree with it, then please, I want to hear your reason to why you don't think. Because I'm sorry, if you don't think that this is a bullshit fine.
They had, 22 plus players, not even including Dez Bryant. That was before the Dez Bryant thing.
You figure in total between those 22, then Dez, then Brown, Boykins, and Prochet.
What was that, 26, 25?
It's like 25 to 26 guys in a matter of
That's half your roster.
3 to 4 weeks?
That's half your roster.
To 3 to 4 weeks, right? And $250,000 is the punishment.
And that's the lowest fine this season.
I literally cut my workout short at the gym because also my phone vibrates and I get a notification from, Ian Rappaport just tweeted, and I had the friggin' dumbbells in my hand. Fucking done. And everybody just looked at me and they said, what? And I said, you believe this shit? And this one guy at the gym, he goes, oh, what happened? I said, the fucking Ravens, $250,000 my balls. Right? And I felt bad for the girl down the other way. Because she was like, what are you even talking about? My football, sweetheart! Right? But how do you... Oh, for the life of me, Goodell. I don't know if Goodell's married, but if he is, Goodell has to have the vagina in that relationship.
Oh, yeah, you already know the way where's the pants in that one.
Because I can't. It's unfathomable that you run this multi-billion-dollar league and you run it like Barnum and Bailey Circus. It is asinine to think that in this shitty year of 2020, to the fact that we didn't even know if there was going to be an NFL season, right? That the Ravens almost cost everybody the rest of the NFL season. And Goodell just comes out from his old ivory tower with his wife's robe on, and he's like, oh, okay, Harbaugh, here's your punishment.
2 months later, by the way.
You're going to get a $250,000 fine. Okay, is that suitable for you? Oh, Denver, you don't have a quarterback? Oh, you still got to fucking play, sweetheart. Sorry.
Yeah, that right there, I did not understand.
This is what I'm talking about.
And then he comes out with the rule that, come on, really?
It's the rules have to be followed by some, but not all. That's not how you run anything. That's not how you run a league. It's not how you run a business. It's not how you live life. If there's a set of rules for one, it's a set of rules for everybody. So if the Steelers have to adhere to the protocol, and you could say, oh, you had guys on the COVID list too. We didn't have 22 plus fucking guys, one. And you know what's funny? And I'll go back to this. If Vince Williams, Jalen Samuels, and I forget who the fourth guy was the week we were going to play the Cowgirls, right? If Ben didn't clear protocol by that Saturday...
You guys are playing that game with Mason Rudolph.
Does that game get moved?
No, you guys are playing that game.
No, it doesn't get moved. But the Broncos have no quarterback, and they got to play with this freaking. They got to play with the
wide receiver,
Al Bundy shoe salesman.
I feel bad for that kid.
It's asinine and fucking.
And he got his ass whooped.
Yeah, it's now they're probably talking about on the NFL Network this fucking jag off Goodell. Oh God! If there was ever a time to assassinate somebody, I probably shouldn't say it on video, but I really don't give a shit.
No, it really is insane though. I
can't. You just.
It's just funny how I think that Dwayne Haskins gets fined $50,000 for one violation.
Well, no, because it's a second time.
Well, all right, second, third, fourth. I don't. They ain't the point. You know what I mean?
Well, that was the punishment. That's Washington's punishment. That's within the team. That's within the organization. The Ravens' punishment was handled as a whole by the NFL, and by a whole, and Goodell asshole. Okay, so the Ravens, and again because when the Bronco thing happened, their reasoning for the Broncos having to play a game is because their owner didn't state a good enough case. So,
what good enough case?
So the Ravens stated a case of what? Well, we just keep getting guys on the COVID list because our strength and conditioning coach is a fucking absolute asshole who doesn't know how to put on a mask. It's simple. It has these two little things. You put them over your ears and you fucking pull the mask up. Like, literally, do you want me to do a tutorial on how to put a mask on?
Well...
Because it's not that hard.
Well,
and not only that, then they were hiding positive results.
Yep, they were not. They were not.
But that's not brought up.
Well, supposedly the strength and conditioning coach got what's it called?
Oh, what did he get fined? $3.50?
Yeah, from the actual organization. Had nothing to do with Roger Goodell. So.
Yeah, well, you know what that guy...
he got disciplined. That's what they said.
Yeah, he got disciplined. Yeah, he got pegged by his wife when he got home. You know...
Well, I want to know, though, but... All right. When the game was supposed to be played on Thursday, was Thanksgiving, Lamar Jackson was clear to play. He was good. It was Mark Ingram. It was Andrews and...
You want to know what it is?
It was only a couple people.
You want to know what it is?
They had the quarterback to play. Why didn't they play Thursday?
I'll explain to you why.
Why didn't they play Thursday?
Because the bottom line is the game got moved because Baltimore needed Mark Ingram and Dobbins, right? But listen, they had Mark Ingram and Dobbins in the first game at friggin' that trash bag stadium they call M&T in Baltimore, right? They didn't win then. And that was the game that was going to trip the Steelers up, and they were supposed to go on this tailspin of a season and whatever, right? You had Ingram and Dobbins then, and you couldn't win. So what made you think it was going to be the same result the second go-round? Oh, what, because you didn't have Lamar now, so you had to throw out the bust in RG3? One of the biggest busts. If you want to talk about top 10 quarterback busts of all time, RG3 is probably number 3. You know, and I have to reiterate that. And speaking of busts, I gotta bring this up. For those who watched the Dolphin Raider game last night, right? If I gotta read again that Tua is a bust, the kid is a rookie. Okay, what you have to understand is this: this isn't a season like other seasons. There was no training camp. Everything was Zoom and virtual. So they didn't get a lot of chemistry with a lot of guys. And Flores made the right decision in taking Tua out to put Fitzpatrick in. The Dolphins don't win that game, though, if that fucking idiot doesn't freaking rip half of Fitzpatrick's face off.
I know, man. Like, literally. And that was the best no-look pass I ever seen. That beats Patrick Mahomes. I'm just saying.
Patrick Mahomes came out and said this morning, said maybe a little late on it, but he goes, but that's the best. He goes, that's the best no-look pass I've ever seen. So.
I said that. I didn't even read that.
You know what's funny is that Fitzpatrick didn't even know he caught it till he managed to adjust his face mask and everybody's getting all excited.
I seen the flag go down. I'm like, what the hell? And I seen Fitzpatrick like this. I'm like, oh, no way.
You got to give these rookies
a
time. You can't just go out there and say, you know, and I know people that do it, and I'm not going to say names or who did it. I know a few that have already done it. Just because he doesn't perform the way he did in Alabama doesn't mean he's a bust. You could say 4 years from now, if he's still getting benched for a 38-year-old quarterback who's got more hair on his face I do on my ass. All right? It was the right move.
It was right. It definitely was.
And as much as I disagree with Mike Francesa on just about everything, on Twitter he even said it. He said at halftime you got to take Tua out and you got to put Fitzpatrick in.
I honestly would have done that. I honestly would have done that at halftime too.
I probably would have done it earlier.
Because like the first half he did not look good at all. Like he was throwing balls like.
And again, I gotta rip the officiating here. Byron Jones, when he dives over Aguilar.
Oh yeah.
And they call it pass interference. I'm sorry for the life of me, it's not pass interference because if you call that pass interference, then how about the Steeler game against the Bengals with Claypool towards the end? That should have been pass interference to them.
That was clearly pass interference, though.
It goes to show you that the NFL officiating since its inception has been inconsistent. And it's almost as inconsistent as Goodell's punishments for COVID cases. It just it really is.
Like, if I could see this shit from my couch on my TV and the ref is literally right there, how do you not see that? Like, like holding call, a prime example. Like, I'm watching this guy's jersey getting pulled like 4 feet, and the ref is right there. Right there!
We know that. We know that. But, you know, I think at times they're just blind to it, or they're told, oh, don't call it here later on. You know, I think, and you can say it's a conspiracy theory, but I think at times they call it at certain points of the game for dramatics.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, oh, and case in point, last night.
Oh, yeah. Dude, that was a crazy game.
You know, and
Dolphins didn't win that game, man.
And, you know,
and the whole tiebreaker.
And the thing that helped Miami out was the missed extra point. He shanked the shit out of it.
He shanked a couple of them yesterday, bro.
And
he shanked a couple. I think it was 3. He shanked 2 extra points and a field goal. So,
but back to the Raven thing though. You had to see. I went to Target, right? Because you know you gotta get the 4-legged prick his friggin' treats, right? So I'm walking through Target and I'm just friggin' muttering, reading on Twitter, and everybody's looking at me, you know, like I'm talking to myself, you know, because I am. I'm like, this motherfucker. Sucker. And then this one's tweeting, and they, oh, this is a freaking joke. And then I was fine. And then, oh my God, if you saw what you know what's funny? I could do this while we're recording this and recording this. I'll go to Twitter right now and I'll show you I'll read exactly what I wrote. I said, laugh out loud at NFL commish. Are you kidding me with this bullshit punishment? Horrendous. By all means, you have no balls or guts. Get ready because my podcast, I'm going to rip you to shit. Might want to watch it. Fan in a van, jag off, right? Because I retweeted somebody else's tweet about it, right? Because, you know, that's what you do on Twitter. You retweet other people's tweets because that way then it's a, you know. Is Roger Goodell going to find me now for what I wrote?
It depends.
Because if he does, listen, I'll tell you what I want to be fined, like $4, because that's probably about all I got in my bank account, because, you know, I'm a hardworking person who, you know, has to just merely get by. I can't afford a $250,000 fine. I'm sorry, the Ravens can. Hey, you know what, Ravens? Why don't you pay my punishment for what I just said to Roger Goodell on Twitter, you fucking jaggles, and you wonder why nobody likes you. You wonder why. You wonder why nobody likes you, Roger Goodell, and you wonder why I fucking hate the Ravens, why I hate the Browns, why I can't stand Baker Mayfield.
I don't think anybody can stand Baker Mayfield.
God, I just... and if I gotta read another tweet or post it, I'm gonna boycott... Listen, I will never boycott the NFL.
Nah.
But Roger Goodell, you fucking spineless piece of fucking monkey shit, okay? You need to step down as the commissioner. Like, now. like, right now. Because you are a joke. Your NFL rules committee is a joke. Your officiating is a joke. And listen, and I get officiating is never going to be perfect. But there's one thing that's not being... There's no accountability. There's none. There's no accountability across the board. Whether it was the Titans situation, the Raiders situation, even the Saints situation, as minute as it is to me. Okay? It's in the locker room. And I get nobody was wearing masks in it, but, you know, it was a big win and they're celebrating, blah, blah, right? But did they go out and have illegal practices on high school football fields like the Titans?
No.
Okay. Did the Saints or the Steelers go to a charity event maskless?
No.
Did the Saints, Steelers, Titans,
Raiders?
Well, actually, no, you got to take the Raiders out because at one point they had like 7 to 10 guys on the COVID list. Did the Saints,
Titans,
or the Steelers have 10 plus people on the COVID list at one time? No. Okay. So then, why is the punishment so minuscule then? Why?
I don't know. And to be honest with you, like, by this punishment being so low, it basically telling every other team we can break protocol with a slap on the wrist.
It's
because the next team who does that and they get fined $500,000 or then some more, this be a whole other shit show.
And you know, like case in point, let's find out. Like let's say in the Cleveland scenario here. Let's say you find out that one of the coaches was conducting practice without it, or Jarvis Landry went somewhere he shouldn't have and was maskless and contracted it. He brings it to the facility. Now Higgins caught it, and this guy got it, and so on and so forth down the line. Okay? And if you find them more than any of those teams that have been fined already, and I'm not a Cleveland Brown fan, and I never defend them at all. But I'm sorry, I might have to defend it.
I will defend them. What do you mean?
Because these fines and punishments have been a joke this year, and I get it's something that none of us have ever contended with before, so it's kind of.
I can't go up as
I can't even find the words to really go with it, but the bottom line is this. All right, so Titans at 300,000. Okay.
The Raiders 5.
The Raiders, in my opinion, knowing the protocol already, knowing the Titans already got fined for their situation, should have been smarter. That should have been $1 million. Gruden should have been 500,000, and they should have lost 2 draft picks. The Saints one, I'm sorry, should have been what the Titans got.
Yeah, because that was in the locker room. That wasn't like.
And the Ravens, again, has got to be
blasted.
It's got to be the most. It's got to be the most egregious one, because $250,000 is. You're pretty much telling the Titans, hey, yeah, fuck you. You're telling the Raiders, haha, fuck you. Yep. You're telling the Saints, haha, fuck you. Because even though your situations weren't nearly as bad, you got fined.
Close as bad.
You got fined more than this guy did, and this team had 25 to 26 guys at the COVID list
within a week.
Within a 3 to 4 week span.
No, it was like 2 weeks. Yeah,
because you got to include after the fact when other guys came off and other guys went on, and you know, and it was comical because during that time when Ravens fans were, you know, they were, you know, jaw jacking, oh, Connor got it and blah blah blah, and you already know my take on it. And then Mark Andrews got it, right. Mark Andrews is a type 1 diabetic, whatever he is. So you know, it's a risk for him to get it too.
He is high,
And the minute I saw one Steeler fan come out and say something negative in that light, oh, the Ravens fans friggin' jumped all over it. But see, if you're gonna jaw jack with other teams, don't forget what you said when you instigated it. You know, and listen, I didn't say nothing about it because, you know, listen, under this rough, rugged exterior, I got a heart.
Yeah, I don't want.
I'm not going to say anything, you know, asinine like that. But
you know, like this is none. This COVID shit ain't not a fucking mess with, man. This really isn't.
But
really isn't.
I hate you, Roger Goodell, because I was having such a good workout. The pre-workouts, all 90 of them were kicking in. I felt like I was Hulk Hogan in the 80s on steroids.
I was watching Game Day in the morning this morning.
You ruined my day, Goodell.
Until I got that little notification that $250,000 fine.
My day, Goodell.
I actually went in my bathroom and puked. They came back out here.
Roger Goodell, I hope you come home and your wife is getting cucked out by like 90 different guys. I really do, you piece of douche shit.
Oh, man.
It's
not even comical anymore. Actually, it was funny this morning. I laughed a little bit.
It's like watching a car. It's like watching a train wreck. You want to look away, but you got to keep watching.
Kind of like frustrated right now.
I think if Roger Goodell was in this living room, I would go to jail for life because I would beat the shit out of him until he couldn't breathe anymore. I really would.
He'd find you.
Shit, what's he gonna find me? $10? Yeah, just put on my Capital One card. I'm sure there's enough on there. It's got it at some point.
Shit, probably enough to pay the Ravens fine, right?
But and then even like in the Cleveland situation right now, I haven't even heard if they even made it to Jersey yet. I haven't heard a single word of that. The last I heard is that it was still delayed.
I was watching this all morning. Supposedly to go. I haven't heard anything different. Supposedly. Because
if it's a go, why are they not in Jersey? Or are they going to do this as a Zoom game and they're going to play Madden and they're going to put their best Madden player up against the Cleveland Browns' best Madden player? In which case, we're going to get another friggin' stupid Baker Mayfield commercial, a Progressive Field, or whatever the fuck field they play in. You know, with we're playing video games on the big screen at friggin' play at your dump of a stadium, okay? But see, here's the thing. Let's say that game gets moved. Let's just say.
It should not.
What's the punishment going to be, though? Because it's impacting the scheduling of the NFL, and they said that would lead to bigger fines. If it impacted... See, now the Ravens situation impacted the schedule not once, not twice, not 3 times, but 4.
Mm-hmm. And almost caused a Week 18.
And not only that, every time another 20 guys got added on the list. They got rewarded for it. So it's almost like, oh, okay, you can keep screwing up, and we'll just keep giving you gifts.
Mm-hmm.
We'll just keep giving you gifts, and I had to hear all these people on Twitter like, oh, you're just complaining because it's the Steelers and blah 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 blah. But if it was your, listen, I'm going to explain this to you, and it's as simple as can be. If you take the Ravens out of that equation and you put the Steelers in that equation, having 20+ people, oh, this thing would be a field day. They'd be writing a movie on it. It would already be halfway through production at this point. All right, it would probably win an Oscar.
And to be honest with you, I would, if that was it, I would. I'd agree, but like, yo, that punch is way too low, man. You guys fucked up. I'll be dead ass.
Yeah, but the thing is that if that was the Steelers in that situation, you know that fine is 10 times more than what the Ravens just got.
Ravens.
Because, the Steelers are just held to a higher standard. And, you say, oh, well, Vince Williams was on the list twice. Listen, I don't know how Vince Williams got COVID. I don't know. Because it's not going to come out. Listen, nobody on the Steelers, as far as I know, throughout the whole season has ever broken protocol.
Mm-hmm.
To my knowledge, they haven't. The only way they've contracted it, if you want my honest opinion on it,
is outside of facility.
Is playing the Ravens, one, because they're playing the Ravens. Marlon Humphreys played with it.
You're right.
Okay? I believe that's the game he played with it. Because then that's when Ben and and then you had the Vance McDonald situation too. I'm not going to leave that. I'm not going to leave that out. Vance McDonald all week didn't practice because he had an illness. They tested him. He was negative. They let him on the plane to go to Dallas. I don't know why, because he wasn't playing anyway. So they just should have kept him in Pittsburgh, and he should have just taken his little freaking NyQuil or whatever he was taking to get better. Monday he tests positive. Okay, Monday he tests positive. And they were bashing them for that. But yet, Marlon Humphreys played with it the whole game. He played with a positive result. Come on. When does it end? And then...
Well, you know what? We're going to find out when his Cleveland punishment comes out. And this punishment is more than the Ravens. It's going to be some...
Well, that's even if there is going to be a punishment. Because they got to do the contact tracing. So they got to find out who he was in contact with. After he tested positive, they got to find out who he was in contact with before he tested positive. This is going to be like fucking Angela Lansbury, Murder, She Wrote. This is what it becomes. Like, and then not only that, in the Raven scenario, right? We all knew where this started from. We already knew.
Yeah.
And at the time, everybody made out to be like that he was just the fall guy. Like they just picked somebody to blame. To find out he was the blame.
He was. He was not reporting the positive test. He wasn't. And it came out and said it.
And whatever his discipline was,
I didn't.
Nobody knows because it didn't come out. So
he got disciplined by the
and then what do you get?
Organization.
What do you get? A spanking? Got put over Harbaugh's knee.
That's all I heard. Disciplined by the organization. I'm like, okay, whatever.
And then the 20+ people over the course of 3 to 4 weeks getting put on the list. Now, 250,000 does not justify the crime here. It doesn't. I'm sorry. That's like getting a DWI and them letting you leave.
Exactly. Third one. Exactly.
And you could see how agitated I am. Because
it's like the Florida rule. The 3 strikes you in life. Kind of like
kind of anywhere now.
Well, you know what I'm saying. But Titans, Raiders, Saints. Then you got the Ravens. The Ravens should have the highest punishment out of all 3 of them. But they got the lowest punishment out of all 3 of them. 4 of them, I meant.
And if you're a Ravens fan and you're like, I don't want to put myself in a Ravens fan situation because I'll literally just go in the bathroom right now and puke till
I already did that this morning. But,
if you're a Ravens fan and think that this is an acceptable punishment, your parents literally conceived you during the Shroom era.
Probably.
Because you have something wrong up there. Because it's not a reasonable punishment by any stand. And the reason why I could be so agitated about it is because I know if this was Pittsburgh, that it would have been like a $10 million fine. You all would have been clamoring for us to give up every draft pick. Ben would have to sit out the rest of the year. Tomlin would have to put on a tutu and dance on the Roberto Clemente Bridge. And, you know, Connor's got to freaking, like, appear in an episode of, like, How I Met Your Mother, the reboot, or whatever the fuck punishment, right? Like whatever punishment you morons would clamor for, all right, over there in Baltimore. And yet, $250,000.
What is that, though? I think nothing. And what is that? Like, I don't even know.
You want to know what it is, honestly?
Pocket change.
No,
nothing.
it's not like that. It was like, you know what? Everybody's been wondering what it is. You know what? Let's just get it over with. And Goodell just said, you know what?
Here you go.
You know what? Whatever it is what it is. And here you go. Here's your fine. Blah, 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 blah. And then just do this.
He was supposed to make an example out of him. That's what you're supposed to do. Make an example. So therefore, all the other 31 teams...
then somebody needs to make an example out of Roger Goodell. Then. See, bottom line is how can Roger Goodell hold anybody accountable when he's not being held accountable?
His wife better stop shit out of him. That's all.
Yeah, well, what, her friggin' 10-inch chocolate thunder stick? Listen, Roger Goodell's got to be held accountable, but who holds Roger Goodell accountable? We us, the fans, can't, because apparently we have no voice, even though we're expressing it right now. But we have no voice. He could watch this video. You think he's going to care? He's paying, excuse me, Twitter, can you tell him to take this down, please? YouTube, he's got to take this down.
I mean, Twitter attacked.
Yeah, he's got to take this down. Oh, and if I post on Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg, can you take this down? Oh, sorry, Jim, but this video doesn't meet our standards. Well, first off, fuck your standards. That's one. And two, Roger Goodell, fuck your punishments. Because listen, I'm going to apply to run the NFL. Because you can't run it right. I could. Because I know what the punishment should be in these scenarios. You know, and, you know, you can come at me and say, you know, being a commissioner's hard. And
get the fuck out of here.
He literally sits there and takes months. This punishment is almost as a joke to the fact that the election for the president went on for almost a month after the fact.
Exactly.
Just to find out that Biden won because, you know, because whatever everybody thought, right? Everybody, you know, whatever. And I don't like to talk politics, but, you know, everybody, voter fraud. Okay?
Shut the fuck up.
Whatever, right? So, that was a joke. This is a joke. And I don't know how you sit there as a fan of the NFL, regardless to what team you root for, whether you're a Niner fan, a Bengal fan, a Packer fan, a Saints fan, whatever, right down the line, and you think this is acceptable. If you're a Titans fan, you got to be livid.
You'd be pissed.
Even though your team broke protocol, you still got to be livid. Same thing with the Raiders. Same thing with the Saints. Same thing with the Steelers. Especially Steelers. Especially the Steelers organization's got to be fucking livid right now. And let me tell you something. Phillip Rivers, I hate to be you today because Cam Hayward's going to eat you alive.
Oh, man.
Because they're going to be pissed. And not only that, and they're without D. Costanzo today, too, the Colts.
No, he came out and he said that he's coming. He said, watch out. Yo, believe it or not, even Randy Fickner, he has a couple of tricks up his sleeve, he said, for tomorrow. Today, I mean.
Yeah, what? A run game? That's not a trick. That's something you should be doing.
I don't know. Hey, he didn't specify, but he said he has some tricks up his sleeve.
I got a trick play. Don't show up and let Ben call the plays. There's a trick play, you jackass. You want to play magician now? Yeah, about 3 weeks too late, you fuck.
But this is definitely a must-win for you guys, man. All that shit is in jeopardy.
But I don't even know how I can enjoy football Sunday now. Roger Goodell literally just punched me in the balls. Literally just punched me in the balls with this fucking bullshit. I literally... and I enjoy football Sunday. I don't even know how I'm going to enjoy it. I might have to... I don't know. I got to do something to perk myself up here.
I'm about to go get a chocolate fucking smoothie. So
I might call up the Coke guy and get some 8 balls.
That's only if you did drugs.
Yeah. Sorry, Dad. We all ain't perfect. But how? I don't get how you're Goodell. You know, I'm gonna put myself. I gotta do it. All right. So you're Roger Goodell, right? So I'll be Roger Goodell.
You're Roger Goodell,
right? And I'm sitting there. Now you're the owner of the Ravens, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I got 25 people on COVID over the past 3 weeks.
Okay.
Please, take it easy on us, man. We had a rough month. We had a rough month.
Okay, you have your checkbook?
Not on me.
Okay. Well, why don't you just Zelle me $250, okay?
Okay, I got you right here. You get it?
I don't know how to operate this thing because I don't know how to use my phone like I don't know how to run the fucking NFL.
Oh, you ain't getting shit, bro. Sorry.
But
that's basically how it went down.
But like
but
like in the Broncos scenario, how is there not a strong argument? And listen, and I get that, Jeff Driscoll tested positive and the other quarterbacks around him and according to Drew Lock, they let the mask slip.
And Drew Lock came out.
Take that for what it for what you will. All right, but Drew Lock
came out and took
out of all the quarterbacks that were involved in that. The kid in his second year was the first one to come out and take the accountability. Blake Bortles, who's been in this league for 4 or 5 plus years now, maybe even longer, was one of the last ones to come out and take accountability. So I give Drew Lock more credit in that regard. But again, because their owner isn't a proficient owner is what the term was used as, I think, by Adam Schefter.
He didn't plead his case.
He didn't plead his case good enough. But Baltimore did. They have a practice. Okay, in Major League Baseball, you have minor league teams, right? You have single A, double A, triple A. Okay. So when a guy gets hurt in baseball, what do you do?
You pick somebody up.
Okay. Right. You put that injured player on the injured list because you can't use the D word anymore. You can't do it because it's not politically correct. Okay. You know what? Fuck it. Put him on a disabled list.
Yeah.
Okay.
There you go.
You put him on a disabled list, right? So you call the next guy. Football has a practice squad where you have a whole bunch of misfit toys that nobody wants. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
You know what you do? You call them up.
Yep.
So what was the case that Baltimore could have possibly pled that? Oh, well, we don't have enough guys in the practice squad? Well, that falls on you then.
Well, but that still don't make sense because on Thursday, all they were missing was what? Ingram, Dobbins, Andrews.
No, Andrews came in the second wave of players.
Oh, so they could easily play. They had a quarterback.
Their reasoning for it, and a lot of people.
I don't want to hear the reasoning. I don't care about the reasoning.
Other people's opinions and reasonings on it is, what if Lamar had it then, and you're trotting him out there, and now he's playing with it, and he spreads it. You already did it with Marlon Humphreys in the one game. Yeah, so what's the matter now?
Yeah, but you're saying now, what if he had it then? Like, he clearly didn't have it.
You're supposed to do...
Unless he had it and it's this coach didn't report it.
As far as I know...
You know what I'm saying?
As far as I know, they test you coming into the facility. They test you leaving the facility. And I think they test you during the practice.
They do.
And then before games, they test you the night before.
And then
the morning, and I think before warm-ups. That's it. Because remember when the Saints traveled to... I forget where. And they had a false negative. Well, false positive.
Yeah, false positive.
Because they literally tested the guy an hour later, and he didn't have it. And they were even saying that one guy almost cost the game from not being played. One guy is going to cause the game not to get played? I don't know. That's the face I made.
I sorry. All I'm saying is that Denver didn't even have a damn quarterback. They had to bring a 5'6" practice squad wide receiver and got his ass handed to him. I seen this poor little guy get thrown around like a rag doll. All right,
but that's what I mean. It's ran like a joke. It's ran like a joke.
It's like playing favorites. It's just like, oh, you didn't plead your case. You're forced to play this game now.
Goodell's the comedian. The NFL's the punchline.
There you go.
It is what it really is really what it comes down to. Because you could sit there and people could say, as they watch the video, listen to the audio part, oh, well, this guy's just mad because because the Steelers got inconvenienced.
No, I'm not mad. I'm not even mad about that.
But the bottom line is this: it doesn't matter if Baltimore was playing, let's say, the Giants. I'd still be the same exact way, even though I'm not a Giants fan. You still got to react the same way, even if it's not Baltimore. Let's say it was the Niners and the Packers, which is a prime example. Both teams on that Thursday night game, or was it Sunday night, whatever night it was, both going in that game with a ton of guys on the COVID list. And that game had to get played.
Yeah, they played.
But Baltimore gets to
move it.
It gets to get moved Thursday to
1,
Sunday,
2,
Sunday to
3
Monday, Monday to Tuesday. Oh, we don't feel like playing. Let's
kind
move it to Wednesday. And then not only that. No, here's the best part. You move it to Wednesday, right? To 3:40 in the afternoon. Why? Because NBC didn't want to give up lighting up that piece of shit Christmas tree at Rockefeller Center. That tree symbolized what 2020 is. It is a dried up piece of shit. I'm surprised when they lit it up, it didn't go up in fucking flames. It's $250,000. Yeah, it's a punishment, but it's not good enough. 1, 2, it's pretty much just giving Baltimore another gift. It's like, oh yeah, you just gotta give me $250,000, and it's like all is forgotten.
And that's basically telling every other team that got fined too, like, you know what I'm saying, like, all right.
You had a better chance of Donald Trump running the NFL and it being better than Roger Goodell.
Probably.
And that's
no, that's that. He's Trump like punishment, sign his bill.
You know who should be the commissioner of the NFL?
Me.
The Rock. Just think about it. Oh, you got COVID? I'm going to lay at the smackdown on your candy ass, and The Rock just comes to your locker room and fucking throws rock bottoms all around the place. Which, by the way, him buying the XFL was the smartest move The Rock ever made. That's pretty much a slap in Vince McMahon. Because when it went bankrupt, Vince tried buying it back. And The Rock just came in with Vince McMahon tried to buy it back because he figured, all right, I could buy it back at a lower price now. Nope, The Rock came in with his ex-wife and a whole bunch of these. And The Rock is going to make the XFL that much more entertaining than it could ever have been with Vince McMahon running it. Vince McMahon is out of touch with the world of professional wrestling at this point, and he's out of touch when it comes to football in general. Listen, the XFL didn't work the first time because he tried to incorporate the attitude era of wrestling into football, and it didn't work. It didn't work. The Rock running the XFL is gonna be successful. It's not gonna be like the AFFL where like halfway through the season, mid game, oh yeah, we don't have enough funds, so yeah, we're just gonna go ahead and just stop this game now. But
oh man, it's crazy though.
At the end of the end of the season though, something has to happen as far as who's gonna hold Goodell accountable for his missed actions.
I don't think anybody is. I don't think anything's really gonna happen.
Because you know now, as this news breaks everywhere, from Ian Rappaport reporting it to Schefter's gonna retweet it out, and this one's gonna retweet it, and this one's gonna take it like I'm already doing, taking shots at Goodell, and so on and so forth, and everybody who does a video podcast, an audio podcast, or this cast, that cast, I got an air cast, whatever, right? The NFL as a whole has to realize that they fucked up. And not only just this, from the inception of these protocols, because they didn't want to lose out on a whole season, and the owners losing out on any money at all.
Yep.
So what did they do?
We'll play with no fans. Boom.
No, they went to the kitchen, grabbed the pot, put it on the stove. Well, filled it up with water. Put the pasta in. Then they're like, oh, you know what? We're going to make Big Ziti, but you know what? Let's do it the ghetto way. Done. That's the protocol. Here you go, NFL players. This is what we're serving you. Oh, it looks so good. And everybody signs.
Yeah.
And then, here we go. And then here comes the Titan fiasco. Then here comes the Raiders situation. Then the Saints. And then the Ravens to put the friggin' cherry on top of the cake, right? And yet, what do we have? The weakest punishment of all.
The weakest. Which should have been the first punishment. That should have been maybe like the Titans' punishment. As the teams continue to break protocol, the punishment should be higher and higher to make an example. Now you just gave the Ravens $250,000. That's basically every other team like, I don't doubt. No doubt.
Well, that's what I said when the Titans punishment came out. I was like, all right, well, you could have 90 million guys on the COVID list and 300,000 is all you're going to get. Well, Goodell set the bar even lower now.
I know. How do you go from 3 to 5? How do you go from 3 and a loss of a draft pick to 5, loss of a draft pick?
Well, no, the Titans never lost a draft pick. They only got fined $300,000 and that was it.
Oh,
They never lost. The Raiders got fined. The only reason why the Raiders lost the draft pick
because
Goodell Gruden was already fined for the mask situation once,
and second time,
and then Sean Payton I think was fined previous as well. And if these guys were smart,
stop like do that shit in the locker room.
No, if these guys were smart, these coaches were smart. Look at Andy Reid. The guy just wears a fucking shield. He puts spray a little anti-fog on that bitch. Just wear a face shield. But Andy Reid also, he's got his little playbook, but he's also got the menu from Denny's on the other side because he's already thinking about what he's going to eat after another win. So, whatever. But that's why the Saints lost the 7th round draft pick. But the fact that the Ravens don't even lose a draft pick.
That's crazy.
If you had came out, listen, I would have even taken this as a punishment. Okay, right? $4 million and the loss of a 6th and a 7th round draft pick, and I would still be irritated, but I would be somewhat
content.
I would be somewhat content with that punishment as opposed to this one, which you just look at it and you just literally want to you literally just want to kick your neighbor's garbage can 10 miles down the road.
I can see you turning red, so.
And I'm more pissed about it because my team had to get inconvenienced not once, not twice,
but 3 times.
3, 4, 5.
Yo, and believe it or not, like people can say playing 3 games in 12 days is not that hard. You go out there and play that.
Yeah, but you know what though?
I know the point, but still.
Regardless of that, and even though they moved the Steelers-Washington game to Monday instead of playing it Sunday, none of that matters. Again, every team's playing in a situation they've never had to play in before, and I get that. But when you, as the head of the NFL and being the commissioner, so you're the judge, jury, and executioner, right?
Mm-hmm.
You came up with this protocol with the players' union. Now, I'm sorry, if I'm Maurice Smith, whatever his name is, Maurice Smith, whatever, being the head of the players' union, the Players Association, right?
Yeah.
How is he not coming out saying this is ridiculous? Even though you represent the players, you have to come out and say this punishment doesn't fit. It doesn't fit the crime. It just doesn't. And the NFL as a whole needs to look at themselves and reevaluate themselves at the end of the year. They just really do. Because
if you think about it, man, like they got to figure something out at this season before they begin next season, because this COVID stuff is not going to be completely away. I'm telling you that right now.
Oh.
So if this protocol continues in next season, it's the same BS bullshit. It's gonna be a shit show. There'll be cases everywhere. Everybody be breaking that shit. You know why? $250,000. Fuck it.
It's and then you gotta look at this when they made the big issue with Daniel Jones and Barkley.
I was just thinking about that
at the bar after the Giants lost to the Eagles in Philly, right? And this friggin' DJ Lughead, I've never heard of the guy, but he's the guy who aired the pictures and the videos out of them, and then he tried covering up for them, saying it was from last year. Well, that
you can't do that when Barkley's looking. All right, come on.
And not only that, the Giants, they handled that in house. I don't think there was ever a fine by the NFL, and in certain situations, I guess the NFL is going to say, well, if you're going to handle it in house, then whatever.
But they didn't get COVID, and then they didn't.
But
they didn't
But again, the Ravens situation impacted the schedule so much more than people realize, because other games had to get moved because of it. Not only just their games, there were games that had to get moved. I think there was like a Dolphins game that had to get moved to a different time than what it was originally scheduled for. There was a couple of games like in Week 11 that had to get shifted that nobody even realized. But to really just sit there and say $250,000 is more than enough, And again, haters can say, you're just saying it because you hate the Ravens. No, because you know what? Because if it was the Jets, I'd be saying the same thing. If it was your team, I'd be saying the same thing. If it was my team, I would be saying the same thing. If it was the Falcons, whoever it is, I'd be saying the same thing. Because one team's reckless actions almost cost everybody the season. Everybody.
Just put it this way. All right, to say the Giants got the Titans punishment, $300,000. All right, say with the Giants to the Titans, and then the Steelers were the Ravens. You guys got $250,000. I'd be livid right now. I'd be flipping on this thing right now.
And that's how I'm looking at it. If you put yourself in the Titans fan situation or the Titans organization for that matter,
I'd be flipping.
Even though you don't really have a leg to stand on, because you violated the protocol yourself.
Yeah, but you were the first one. You were the first one to do it. The last one
you should be looking at. You should be on the phone with Goodell. Like, well, why are they getting fined this? We only had like 3 or 4 guys on the list, and you had like 20. They have 20 plus in 3-4 weeks.
You think Roger doesn't be answering those phone calls?
And the Raiders, the same thing. Yeah, we went to that event maskless, but none of our guys came back positive. But yet, we got fined $500,000 and lost a draft pick. What are you doing? And then the same thing with the Saints. Listen, yeah, we celebrated in the locker room without masks on,
but nobody got COVID.
But we're getting a $500,000 fine
and a loss
of a 7th-round draft pick. Then you have the Ravens again, 20 plus guys in 3 or 4 weeks, and $250,000 and no other punishment. I'm sorry if something doesn't change between now and tomorrow,
which I don't think it will, honestly.
Goodell's got to go. He's got to go. Who's going to be the guy in the NFL that comes out and says you got to step down? Who's the guy who's going to say it, or is it just going to take everybody within the league to just say F this season, F it, and everybody just says you're not taking our safety seriously? Because one of the McCourty brothers came out early in the year and said that this protocol's a joke, and I think he even got fined for it. He probably got fined more than what the Ravens got fined.
I believe.
But
prime example, when James Bradbury got COVID, all right, they found out that he went to go see an outside chiropractor, and that's where he contacted it from. They put him to the side. He didn't play. The Giants could have cried about it, like, yeah, well, our quarterback, he's got COVID. We can't play the game. Can we please get him moved for a couple more days, please? Please? No.
No, but
you could easily hit that test if you wanted to, like the strength and conditioning coach.
But
play that game.
But as we wind down here before the game, before the pregame shows start in like an hour or so, which we're going to hear more about this at this point, and it's going to be interesting to see what the CBS pregame show says. I'm really curious to see what Boomer Esiason says, being a former player, him and Nate Burleson. I'm actually kind of really curious to see what Bill Cowher says.
I want to see what Nate says.
And then on the Fox side of it, I'm curious to see what Bradshaw and Howie Long and Strahan got to say about it.
Strahan, he has a voice. He has a voice, but he won't be vulgar. But he'll be like, that's a little.
So it's only a matter of time before this punishment, like it's already started,
is
getting ripped to shit. And does Goodell come out and say, you know what, I gotta punish you more here. I gotta up this.
Everybody's ripping my asshole apart right now. So sorry guys, you got $1 million or $2 million, lost a third. Sorry guys.
It just is what it is.
I bet you won't do that shit again.
It is what it is, and you could tell throughout this whole video, I've been very, very agitated, but the video had to get done. I literally texted him on the way home. I said, "Yup," because as soon as I walk in the door, we're doing a fucking video. That's it. So
yeah, so I see that tweet, and I was like, "Whoa!"
So till then, till the next video, which should be Wednesday. You can check out the podcast on all major platforms. Videos are up on YouTube, Facebook page, FanVan. Till then, stay safe. Fuck the Ravens.
Mask up, so
mask up.
Fine.
Fuck the Ravens again. Peace. Fuck Roger Goodell. Till then, peace. Yeah, buddy. Fuck the Ravens.